Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into Donald Trump's Middle East trip.
That's right.
Specifically focusing on Thursday, May 15th, 2025, his stops in Qatar and the UAE. We're using Al Jazeera's reporting here.
And our goal is really to, pull out the key developments, give you the essentials from those first couple of visits.
Okay, so first up, Qatar. Al Jazeera mentioned quite a grand arrival ceremony.
Yes, the formalities were noted.
But the real headline grabber, I think, was the White House announcement. Agreements with Qatar, expected economic exchange of at least $1.2 trillion.
Trillion. Yeah, that's the number that just loops off the page. It's staggering.
It really is. I mean, compared to current trade, what are we talking about usually? Tens of billions.
Exactly. Somewhere in that ballpark. So jumping to a potential $1.2 trillion, well, it suggests something huge is planned.
The report said trade and defense sectors,
right.
Pretty broad categories.
Right. It covers the usual suspects, but that valuation, it implies deals of an unprecedented scale, perhaps.
It does make you ask what kind of deals add up to that much. The report didn't spell it out immediately.
No, not the specifics. But historically, deals in the region often involve big energy contracts, maybe major defense systems procurement.
So possibly more of that, but maybe scaled up massively. Or new areas like tech, infrastructure.
That seems plausible. Could be an expansion of existing ties, or maybe, like you said, breaking into new high-value areas to reach that $1 trillion mark.
Okay, so after those potentially massive announcements in Qatar, the focus shifted.
Right, pretty quickly.
President Trump then arrived in Abu Dhabi, UAE.
Yeah.
Al Jazeera framed it clearly as the next step on the tour.
Yes, the reporting really emphasized the sequence. Qatar, then the UAE. It suggests these are connected pieces of a larger regional strategy.
And following Qatar with the UAE arrival immediately,
Yeah.
it sort of sets expectations for that leg of the trip too, doesn't it?
It does. You assume there's anticipation around the Abu Dhabi meetings as well, following such big news from Doha.
Which kind of brings us to the wider context Al Jazeera touched on. They posed those questions, didn't they? Like, why is Trump going to the Middle East now specifically?
And also asking about the current value of U.S. Gulf investments overall.
Right. So they seem to be probing the why behind the trip and the existing economic baseline for all this.
Which is critical context, Understanding the current investment landscape helps you gauge just how significant this $1.2 trillion Qatar deal really is. Is it building on a lot, or is it a complete game changer?
It definitely makes you think about how these potential new deals might shake up the existing economic relationships over there.
Absolutely. It could signal shifts in priorities, maybe new dynamics between the U.S. and different Gulf states.
And just to anchor this, the Al Jazeera report we're drawing from was published on May 15th, 2025.
Exactly. So it's a real-time snapshot of the news as it broke during those first stops, capturing that initial wave.
So wrapping up this first look, the undeniable headline is that massive potential economic figure coming out of the U.S.-Qatar agreements.
That $1.2 trillion, it's the main talking point, no question. And it's bound to have ripple effects.
Definitely raises questions about the specifics, the long-term view for both countries, and the wider region.
Indeed. Even without all the details yet, the sheer scale suggests a potentially significant realignment of economic and maybe even strategic interests.
It really gives you a glimpse into high-stakes diplomacy, doesn't it? The potential for these huge economic shifts.
It does. And it makes you ponder, what kind of future collaborations, what new pathways might open up if deals like this actually materialize down the road.
Exactly. That's the big question to keep in mind as we track the rest of this Middle East tour.
If you're interested in our videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in our videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching.